what's the word? I appreciate you checking out my video, but before we start, I'm gonna need you to do two things. Hit that like and subscribe.
Yo, shout out to Loyalty and Betrayal. Hey, man. What's the word, man?
Yo, for real.
It was a comedy show reading the documents when I was live because I had not read. I actually got the documents while I was live, reading it for the first time. We couldn't stop laughing.
I swear, listening to this whole situation, I could just hear the Benny Hill music playing in the background. Like, come on, like, what the f are they doing?
Now, here's the crazy part. I got the 32 pages from the news media. Put out a link and gave it to us because the Fed still hadn't put it on Pacer yet. But yeah. What I did get from Pacer was his old case. And his old case, them cops did their homework. Because he stole, or him and Bobby Brown, which is his road manager, and somebody else, met up with two guys. They were going to get some weed and a pair of shoes. Okay. The car he's driving, he's actually leasing from one of the guys that they're going to rob. Okay. They rob him for codeine, $500 pair of shoes, and the weed. Shoot one of them in the hip, shoot the other one in the butt. And then when they jump back in the vehicle to take off, his Louis Vuitton bag fell out the driver's side door while he's driving. And it was full of over $40,000 in $100 bills. They go back and look at his social media, and he had just been flexing on Instagram this bag full of money, and they were able to pick up the serial numbers off the $100 bills and match it to the bag of money that he dropped at the crime scene.
Damn.
These are not smart criminals.
Sure isn't. There's some dummies.
Now, mind you, one of the other guys in this batch of 9 guys that they are arresting, he's on house arrest in Mississippi. But apparently Mississippi, they never mentioned anything about them complaining about him being out of range or anything. So I don't know how that worked. But the guy that they're talking about, that video recorded it, his part was blocking the door and pulled out his cell phone and he recorded it. Now, according to AK-47, he saw that recording months and months ago. And so that's kind of what that beef is between him and SETI right now, because they're going back because he had said it. Everybody called him a liar or whatever. Now it's coming to fruition, that type of thing. But he used his daddy's car from Memphis.
You can't make this shit up.
You can't. And just like she said, these are not some smart criminals. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, like we're sitting here saying what he just did was dumb and stupid. You're an idiot for doing it. He already did some dumb shit already. So, yeah, you deserve this shit, bro.
When I first heard about it, I was thinking, man, you done pulled your daddy into this. But as I'm reading the paperwork, when I got to that part that said they forced him to, it was only the junior and senior that went into the recording room.
Yeah.
And it was Gucci Man, and I think that was it. Okay. So those two had the guns, forcing him to sign. After he signs, Pooh Shiesty turns to his daddy and says, "Is this all good?" That, if he's the same age as my son, if my son's gonna pull off something like this, and he's got to turn to me and ask me, "Is this good?" Son, you don't need to be pulling off crime.
Yeah.
So to me, because especially since they said that they got his daddy on footage going to Staples office supply, making this paperwork, running copies, got the receipt, everything. Okay. Daddy premeditated. Daddy put this together. But they're still calling Pooh Shiesty the mastermind. In my opinion, If you got to get daddy's approval, then daddy's the mastermind.
Facts. Because you're basically, they're going to make it seem like, well, you're just basing everything off of what he's saying. So definitely that's what it looked like. Barbara J said, welcome, Lord Trail. She said, aren't they saying that he might face life in prison for that?
Well, let me back that up. We could bring OTF into this too as well. The case that he got the 63 months and the 3 years probation in Florida. He's on the ankle monitor. I don't know how many months he did of the 63 because he got approved to leave and come home and be on house arrest. But he had 4 counts, and this was a superseding indictment. Counts 2, 3, and 4 were dropped. Count 4 had a life, what do you call it? A lifetime time limit. The other 3 had 20 years. So if you're gonna end up, it doesn't matter if it's a possibility of life. If they're gonna plea bargain it down and drop those charges, those counts, oh well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he had a 20, a 20, a 20 in a lifetime. And he ended up getting 63 and was still let out early. And Florida's not easy. And that was a Florida charge.
Oh, wow.
Now, I will say this. From my own personal experience coming from Texas. Texas don't play with kidnapping charges. And this is a kidnapping charge. I was telling them on my live that one of my backdoor neighbors got into it with this chick, and he jumped in his Bronco to leave. She jumped in with him. He's trying to push her out. She don't get out. They end up leaving together. We thought it was over with. Several months down the road, we find out he got charged with kidnapping charges and got 9 years because he told the cops he forced her to go with him. And he was trying to kick her ass out the car.
Wow.
And they'll like double layer it because it'll be like kidnapping, confinement. Well, to me, and they'll do all that in Texas. They when it comes, there's just every state's got their own little pet peeves about what they don't like. Texas kidnapping is a big one.
So even with him trying to get her out the vehicle, that's basically like he say, she say, his word against hers.
Word against her word. And we didn't know that there was ever any charges, so it wasn't like we could even, hey, Mr. Officer, let me speak up on the behalf of the dude, which I probably wouldn't have done because he did whack her upside the head a couple of times, and that pissed me off. My old man's telling me don't go get involved, and he's pulling me back in the house. But at the same time, don't lie on me. Don't lie. That's I went and got locked up on a lie, and there was plenty I was guilty for. They never charged me for it. They charged me on a lie. So to me, my pet peeve is don't lie on me.
Right.
The law's simple. You break this law, this is what you're supposed to go to jail for. Not because we can't prove it, we're gonna put something else on you. But yeah, this 32 pages, it reads like a comic book comedy.
It's truly entertaining.
License plate readers, footage from the hotel, footage from Staples, footage from the damn studio. And what I was saying about with the guns, okay? Not that I'm encouraging anybody to do anything, because I think it was all stupid to begin with.
Yeah.
But and I just enrolled in college for paralegal, okay? But even though I haven't started yet, even I know that contract is null and void because you signed it under duress. And unless you kill all the witnesses, including your co-defendants, and you burn the building down where there's no footage of you doing anything of this crime, you're not going to... It might take 25 or 30 years in litigation, even still doing all that, because Pooh Main's got a partner. And that partner has to sign also and agree to everything also.
Okay.
he's not just a one-man show. I don't know how many partners he's got, but he's a business corporation. So it's like, I don't know, maybe they just wanted to go to jail.
I don't know what they had to prove, but it's hard to think that anybody thought very hard on this. This has got to be like some kind of spur of the moment stuff, because like from the contract, from the actual charges that they could receive, how successful they're going to be with this whole mission. Like, it wasn't well thought out, in my opinion.
It was thought out enough that the daddy rented the vehicle at the end of December and had it until January the 11th, and the crime took place on January 10th. And that was his contract for renting from Hertz Rental Car.
Damn.
So they was premeditated enough that way. The other vehicle, like I said, was Wright's daddy. There was 2 Dodges and another vehicle. I forgot what the other vehicle was. But what got me was, apparently Pooh Shiesty's dad has a rental property close to Dallas area. And I guess Pooh Shiesty's house arrest, he's gotten it transferred over there because in Fresno, I think is where it is. But anyway, after they committed this crime, they tracked everybody going back to their place. But only the junior and the senior stay there. The other guys go get 4 hotel rooms. While they're there, they steal, I think it was a Dodge Charger, some kind of Dodge. I don't know, Hellcat, something, I don't know what.
Yeah.
From the hotel. I guess they went driving around on the town that night, because Dallas is a place to go clubbing.
Yeah.
But then they rode the Greyhound back to Memphis. So Greyhound, you've got those tickets. You got to show your ID, just like an airplane. They got everything, step by step by step, and their cell phone. They said only 2 of the co-defendants, they don't have their cell phone records yet. They got everybody else.
They're gonna get it. I'm just shocked. You said that they tracked them from Memphis to Dallas. That's a long paper trail worth of shit, to where you making all type of mistakes, because you're not. They probably tightened up once they got in the area, but them being on the road, they thinking that they got away scot-free, or they're not being tracked. But lo and behold, they are.
For me to get to Dallas is 16, 17 hours. Memphis is still way east of me. So I'm going to give it to them. Okay, we're trading drive. That's just me driving by myself. So I'm going to give it to these guys. Let's say y'all were trading off drivers. He's still going to be 18, 20 hours. They got them on license plate readers. They got, you know that, okay, it takes from here to where I go in Texas is a 12-hour drive, and it takes 3 fill-ups. How many fill-ups just from Memphis to Dallas? At least 4 or 5. At least 4. So every time you stop to put gas, now we got that credit card, the debit card. Now we can look at that footage. They've had over a year to collect all these things. Mind you, they knew about the crime the same day or the day after. But they've had a full year to collect all this evidence.
They cooked.
Wow.
They got all that. I know they do.
Man.
And it's not like they're going to be smart enough to use cash, but you're still going to be on surveillance of, you was at this location at this particular time. So
that they because if you're using cash, you got to go inside to the register. They're going to have a camera right there at the register. And a lot of the places, they're not going to let you walk in there looking like you're looking right now with your ice cream.
Remove the mask, sir, please. Like, yeah.
Hey, man, so you gonna tell me 94.6 of y'all are not subscribed?
What are y'all doing? Hit that subscribe button and put notifications on all.
Now let's get to the video. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, commenting, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Are you a fan of my brand and want to show your support? Well, I got some awesome merch for you to check out today. I got everything from stylish t-shirts featuring my logo to cozy hoodies that are perfect for those chilly nights. And don't forget about the signature hats and mugs. Whether you heading out to a concert, running errands, or just hanging out with friends, my merch is the perfect way to show your love for the brand. And the best part, I got some exclusive deals and discounts going on right now. So what you waiting for? Head over to the store, grab your favorite item before they gone.
Yo, you now rocking with classic music. Now what I want you to do is hit that like, subscribe, and comment on this video. Yeah, let's get it.